San Francisco, California now plans to fight its homelessness epidemic with free parking.
The city is offering a safe parking lot for dozens of people living out of their cars. But it is the same city that already gives out free syringes.
All right, so are these ideas working? Michael Knowles, host of the Michael Knowles Show, joins us now to talk about this. There's two ways you can go about it. You either get tough on it or you can go easier on people. What do you think of this plan?
Guess which way San Francisco is going to go. Unfortunately, my own city of Los Angeles isn't very far behind San Francisco in this regard. I'm actually just shocked that the politicians in San Francisco think that there's this abundance of parking spaces that they're going to give out as safe shelter. I can never find parking when I'm in San Francisco. And of course, there's no such thing as a safe parking lot to live in. Parking lots are meant for parking your car and getting out of your car. Every irresponsible teenager, every frugal traveler has dozed off for a few hours in his car. But cars are for driving. They're not for living in. Nobody has a right to live on the street. This is unsafe. This is a social Band-Aid for morally myopic and cowardly politicians who don't want to deal with the real problems of homelessness, which are mental illness, their addiction, and they're not enforcing the laws.
So let's take a look at some numbers here because, as you'll see, a little over a third of San Francisco's homeless people actually live in vehicles. And then let's go to our next graphic, which explains a little bit about this safe parking program. And as you can see, it's 30 spots available. People must come recommended by the San Francisco Homeless Outreach Team. Bathroom and showers are provided. Parking only for 90 days at a time. They are going to be capping that. And they will also be providing services and managers to help the homeless find other housing options, including long-term housing. So, I mean, you look at everything that they are, I guess, in theory, attempting to do here, especially in the outreach by attempting to provide longer-term housing solutions. Is that going in the right direction?
The key word is in theory. How have these San Francisco politicians done at tackling homelessness the last 2 years? Since 2017, homelessness is up 30% in San Francisco. That's 3-0. And it's because they're getting the program totally backwards. They're getting the problem totally backwards. They think that because there's a surge in homelessness, they need to relax the enforcement of their laws. But actually, relaxing the enforcement of the laws is causing more of a surge in homelessness. You see a similar situation in San Francisco with the needle exchanges. They have this epidemic of drug use on the streets of San Francisco. So they say, hey, I know what we'll do. We'll give out free syringes to homeless people. What could go wrong? Well, drug use has skyrocketed. Crime has skyrocketed. And they collect very few of the needles. They only collect about, 62%. So you've got 40% of the needles all over the street with the risk of spreading disease, spreading infection, and reducing the quality of life for every single person in San Francisco, including the homeless people. There is no compassion to this policy. It is just another way of ignoring the problem and ignoring the people living on the street.
Yeah, it's essentially the government saying, we're okay with you doing heroin, that's fine. I mean, it's basically saying it's fine, we don't mind. And as you see here, nearly 60 million syringes, 58 million syringes have been given out by the city of San Francisco just in 2018. That is a tremendous amount. Another problem, Michael, is the cost of living in California is so high. Will this problem continue until they get some kind of control on that, until people can afford housing?
I think the bigger issue than the cost of living is that people aren't enforcing the law. You know, under Rudy Giuliani in New York, the cost of living was very high, and yet homelessness and crime dropped precipitously. And the reason for that is he took a hard line and he understood that living on the street is a dysfunctional act that harms the individual and it harms society. Nobody benefits from it. The issue here isn't that we need more rent control laws in San Francisco. Look at what that's done to housing in that city already. What you need is more police on the street. You need to empower them to do their job, and you need politicians to enforce the laws.